Okay, good morning. I'm going here just a little bit early today, a couple minutes early. Today is, what is the date? May 20th? Yep. I'm going just a few minutes early here because I wanted to make sure I'm using a new app, and so I wanted to make sure that it's working. So it seems that it is, but I want to just give a moment or two for folks to join and find. And if you are on here, if you can just say hello, um, that way I'll know that this is working. Since again, I'm using StreamYard now. Oh, thank you, Kathleen. Good morning. Great. Okay, so here it is. This is just a new app since Facebook Live is no longer working with my camera. So I'm glad that we found a new way to do it. Welcome to leave comments. I don't see who's joining in this version, so you're always welcome to say hello in the comments. Good morning, Kenny. And I'm glad to know it's working. So we'll go ahead and get started now. Today is Wednesday, May 20th, 2020, and this is the guided grounding meditation for today. So I'm just trying to think if there's anything I want to say before we start. I think we'll just launch right in. So I'll invite you to kind of find your comfortable seat if you haven't already. Make any movements or wiggles that the body would like to do. Allow yourself to feel that organic expression of your body and just kind of settle in for a moment. And I'm finding myself off of the back of my chair, so whatever feels comfortable for you, that you can settle, and you're welcome to adjust it as you go. And then take a moment before you start, as we often do, and just let yourself orient to your room. Let yourself be guided by your eyes. Let the eyes be soft and simply gazing. Let it be a slow, gradual movement, and let this go all the way around the room, even behind you, gently settling into an understanding and a knowing and a connection with your space. And so finding that moment that you can actually maybe even feel a settling in your system at the body level or at the energetic level, or maybe you even feel a bit of a deeper breath as you settle in from this orienting to your surroundings. And so as you do that, kind of feel the settling. And then when you feel settled, when you feel that kind of grounding from that piece at some layer in your body or system, then let your gaze come back forward and settle in to this orientation. And you can either do this with the eyes opened or closed. And that might change throughout the meditation. Sometimes the eyelids just want to flutter open, and that's fine. You can let that happen. If they are, let's see if you can let there be a heaviness in the eyelids. And however you do it, again, let there always be a softness in the eyeballs, almost like they're just sinking back into your skull, into the eye sockets that hold them. And see if that can also allow a settling in the forehead. So often we have this energy of up, and allowing there to be a softening and let the eyes settle can be one of the first steps in that grounding. So take this time and this few breaths here to feel that happening. Feel that in the eyes, and feel that in that front of the head. And just take a breath there. And I'd like to invite us to take 3 slow, deep breaths together. And deep is whatever that means for you. So let's start with a breath in together. And a breath out. And another breath in. And a breath out. And then one more. And a full breath out. And take that moment, a pause of observation and integration, always allowing time to notice how a practice or a breath affects us. And then settle in as you bring your awareness to your hips. We're going to spend some time with pure presence. And so noticing and feeling how your hips are energetically, how they feel physically. It might cause you to want to shift your body in some way, and that's fine. Let there start to seep in this sense of heavy grounding into your hips. Nothing that feels like it would weigh you down, but simply an anchoring, a hip-centered heaviness in your body that can add the stability to your base. And notice what happens as you spend some time with simply observing your hips. What do you notice, and what shifts, if anything, when you simply allow presence and awareness in the hips? And just kind of take that in. Let your whole system take that in. And then start to slowly deepen the breath or send the breath to the hips. If the breath already feels pretty deep, let it stay where it's at, but start to direct it down towards your hips. And start to feel that energy of the breath supporting the connection with the hips and the grounding into the hips. And then if you're sitting in a chair, then I'll direct you to invite your awareness to your feet. If you're sitting cross-legged or with knees bent on a meditation bench, you can direct your energy or your awareness down to the lower part of your legs. So either way, just go a little bit lower with your awareness. And especially if there's a part touching the ground or the floor, bring your awareness and your energy and your observation there. And really feel and concentrate and notice that point of connection with the ground, with the earth. There's an energy of the earth that's always available to us, especially when and if we note it and pay attention to that connection. And so allow that full awareness now to be there, to have that connection to the earth there. And just like before, you can send the breath there. And it might be a deeper breath that's required if that feels like a longer way to go, but simply allow the breath to settle all the way down to the feet or the lower part of the legs, whatever is landing closest to or connecting with the floor or the ground below you. So we'll take 1 minute in silence here to let that connection happen all the way through the hips down to the feet. And then again, take a moment and a pause for a couple of breaths of integration. And what do you observe in your body or your energy field or your whole being as you take in that practice of just sending the breath all the way down? So taking that moment of observation and noting. And then I'll invite you to bring your awareness back to your hips. And we're going to start what I'll just call like an elevator meditation. And so with each breath, you can imagine the elevator is at the base of your hips. And as you inhale, it starts to come up. And as you exhale, it starts to go down. And so we'll just guide through that. Take a breath in, imagine the elevator and the breath going both up the torso. And as you exhale, imagine the elevator holding that breath going all the way back down to the hips. And we'll take a few like that. Inhaling, bringing that up. And exhaling, bringing it down. And your breath pace might be different than the pace that I'm guiding. So again, let this be on your own pace. And just feel and notice how it feels to have the elevator sort of your breath going up and down your torso. And again, I want to allow about a minute in silence there to enjoy this practice. Let the breath be as deep as you like. Elevator up on the inhale and lowering the breath as you exhale. Up from the hips on the inhale. And lowering down to the hips on the exhale. And do that one more time. And we're going to continue this practice, but each time you exhale, the breath will go a little bit lower down. So now the breath in takes your elevator up the torso, and as you exhale, bring that either below the seat or all the way down to the floor below you. And then again, your inhale will bring that elevator with your breath up. And now as you exhale, let it go just below the floor. So all the way down, just underneath the ground or the surface below you. And then again, take a breath in, feel the elevator with your breath rising back up, all the way up your torso. And as you exhale, this time, let it go a couple feet below the ground with your exhale. And again, let this pace happen in whatever feels right for you. The inhale breath next will go all the way up the torso again. And as you exhale, you'll go back down, this time about 10 to 15 feet below the earth. The energy is traveling a little more quickly now with the exhale because you're blazing that path for it. You've opened that path. Inhale, opening up, lifting the torso. And exhale, now it's going about 50 feet down the earth. So we'll take a few more rounds like this and feel how it goes deeper for you. Don't worry about counting the numbers right now about how deep unless that's helpful. Just letting the breath move its way deeper and deeper down into the earth. Inhale goes up the torso. Exhale all the way down, every time just a little bit deeper into the earth. Again, lifting up. And exhale, maybe you're at a few 100 feet now, down to the earth. There's no need to rush it. And there's also no need to force it. It just happens naturally. Allow that to happen. Inhale, lift. And exhale, down. We'll take about 30 seconds or so in silence so you can just let this continue deep down into the earth as you go. Feel it slowly coming up and gracefully and gently going down. A few more times like this. And then maybe imagine that you're now about 1,000 feet into the earth. Maybe more if you've gone deeper. So just kind of see what feels right and true for you. And let's take 3 more rounds like this as you go deeper and deeper to the extent that feels right for you. It's thousands of miles to the center of the earth. So just feel what distance feels right for you today. And we'll take 2 more breaths together like that. So an inhale, lifting it up, rising up through the torso. And then as you exhale, bring it down slowly deeper into the earth. And then again, another inhale up the torso. And as you exhale, bringing it slower back down. And then let yourself land with the energetic distance that feels right for you. So the inhale might come back to, or the exhale might come back to just the hips, just between the torso. You might stay down connected to the ground, or you might even continue to draw it down into the earth. But without the intention or effort of extending it, find the place that feels a good balance for you and stay there. And then we'll take another minute in silence here where you simply start to allow that settling to occur and finding that distance and that balance that works for you. So again, from here, 1 minute in silence. And then notice here, take a few moments and a pause again for integration. Notice what you feel and what you observe and how that landed in your body and in your being. Notice what level of depth for your exhale felt calming, felt grounding, and felt comfortable that you could stay with that for a while. And take a few moments to simply observe and maybe even name to yourself what you're feeling, what you're observing, allowing for and sort of inviting a sense of integration. And so by observation, naming, pausing, and observing, we can deepen the impacts and the effect on our system and in our body, and we can take it in a little different way. And so allow that to be true for yourself. Simply notice, and sometimes you might get a yawn or a sigh. Yeah, I'm feeling that integration that you're all observing. Maybe the body just settles. Maybe you just get a knowing. But really allowing for that integration to be an integral part of this practice so that it's not just an in the moment thing, it's actually something that you can take in and deepen the neural pathways around. And so that's what this is for. Let's just take a few more breaths and noticing of what you observe. And then allow your breath to simply become involuntary. So no more efforting on it. No more needing to extend the exhale or drop it down. Simply allow it to be where it is. And allow yourself to, again, take a few moments of simply being, just being. And feeling that sense of calm that's possible with an intentional pause of openness and observation, especially after a practice. We can't always get there immediately, but allowing that to be integrated and incorporated. And then wherever you are, the eyes can stay closed. If they're closed, they can open, or you can stay open if they're open. Just take your hands down your thighs, start them by your hips. Come back to your physical body. We've been working with a breath body for a while. So bring your hands from the tops of your hips and start to just gently push them down to your knees, whatever amount of pressure feels right for your body. And so you could have that be a little stronger if that feels more grounding, or you could have it be a light pressure of just kind of gently pushing energy down from your hips to your knees. And take a few more times like that, kind of letting yourself connect with the body. Also a very grounding practice. You might even just gently squeeze the legs as you go down from the hips, down the thighs to the knees. Take another moment like this. Just kind of really pushing and feeling the energy down into the knees. And then the next time you're in the knees, and even if you're cross-legged, you can stay there. Just pause and hold your hands, the base of your hands, right on the tops of your knees, and just apply gentle pressure. And feel that connection of your body against a different part of your body. And even feel as if that energy was going all the way down the lower parts of the legs. And if you're in a shape or a position that allows you to then start to move your hands down the lower parts of your legs, you can start that down to the ankles. Or you can simply stay with the hands resting on the tops of the knees and allowing yourself to feel a gentle pressure and a grounding into your own body, and feeling that energy also then just draw deeper into the earth. So we'll take a little bit of time in silence here, finding and feeling this connection, hands on the knees or hands moving down the lower parts of the legs to the feet. And breathing with this connection. Couple more breaths just like this. And then allow yourself to bring your hands back in your laps, palms facing up or down, however is most comfortable for you. And again, let's take 3 slow breaths together. So long breath in and a full breath out. Another breath in and a full breath out. And one more. And then as you feel ready, if the eyes are not open, go ahead and open them. And again, start to orient around the room. Let your eyes guide you to different places that you notice in your room. Let the eyes stay soft. And so it's not a seeking, it's a simple practice of observing. You might notice different colors, or you might see the room a little differently. Perhaps you do, perhaps you don't. Just see what's true for you. And notice and allow any breath or sigh or settling that occurs again through this process and through the whole practice. Take another few moments just like that. And when you feel ready, then again, bring your awareness and your gaze orienting back to the center, a forward direction. If the eyes were closed, you can let them open and just then be present back in the room. And give yourself acknowledgement and recognition for doing this meditation, for showing up, for doing this work, and for helping to ground your system. And the more that you do for your individual self, the more you do for our collective self. So we all thank you for being here. And if anyone has any comments or questions, feel free to post them in the comment box or anything else you'd like to share and notice. I'm glad that this StreamYard app works, so that I'll be doing them this way moving forward. And just a reminder that the special rate on my psychic reading and energy healings goes through the end of the month. I'm on vacation next week, but I'm extending it through the first week of June, including if you want to schedule it during that week for a future week, as long as it's scheduled by the first week of June. So you can see more information about that on my website, KathleenDowd.com, or I think it's on the Facebook page. I'll post it there too, or just contact me if that's of interest. And so if no comments or questions, then I'll just go ahead and end. Thank you all for being here today.